This is an interview with Nick Matthew, the three-time world champion. One of the questions that we've been asked to sort of ask you was how you celebrated your win. Do you drink afterwards? Do you go out partying?
Yeah, the night of the final, sort of had a few to drink. With it being in Manchester, sort of able to go out with friends and family, which was really nice. Went for a late meal, then went back to the hotel and slumped in on the couch and had a couple of bottles of red wine, sort of with my wife and my manager and stuff with my mum and dad, which was nice. And I think before we knew it was 5 in the morning and I had to be on the BBC breakfast sofa at 7:30, so I didn't get much sleep and I was a bit bleary-eyed when I made the appearance the next day.
So how quickly were you back on court after?
I won the final on the Sunday. I went back on court on the following Saturday when I was in Qatar. I had a few days sort of just relaxing, doing nothing, drinking too much, eating too much, and then flew to Qatar, got back in tournament mode and got on court the Saturday before I was due to play on the Monday or Tuesday in Qatar.
So and what are the goals now if you've seemingly done it all? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, it's my playing career is still really important to me. I guess the overall goal doesn't change, which is to maximise my career, maximise sort of every ounce of it, and have no regrets when I go into retirement. Commonwealth Games has always been really high on the agenda next year, so that's in July, obviously in Glasgow, and that will be great for squash to showcase ourselves, and hopefully I can showcase myself there, because the Commonwealth is a massive, massive title and one that sort of transcends the sport really.
So from here, what would you say when you come back from your tournaments? What is your sort of daily routine or weekly routine that somebody you could give us some idea of what life of Nick Matthew is away?
Yeah, when there's no tournaments on, I'm longing to get back in a bit of a routine at the moment. After the Worlds, it's been tough to get into any sort of routine, so that's been frustrating. But I always play my best when I sort of get a really good routine, which involves sort of about 5.5 days of full-on training. Used to be sort of 6, but I've tried to lower it down a little bit since I've got a little bit older. Usually have sort of 5 full days in the week, and then Saturday morning, and then have the full weekend off, which sort of allows you 48 hours before the session Monday morning. Those sessions might include a couple of strength and conditioning sessions, couple of sessions technically with my coach DP, might get on court with Neil Gary for a pressure session. If a tournament's coming up, I'll get on court with a couple of players and do some match practice. There'll be one solo in there, and then there'll be a couple of physical sessions. Like I do a lot of running, tempo run, interval running, or on the treadmill, and then maybe a bike session or a circuit or something. I don't know if that's 11 sessions, that sounds like about 25, but hopefully my maths, I'll vary them around depending on the week. If I've got 3 weeks, then building up to a tournament, obviously I'll get more match play in closer to the time. The first week I probably would limit one of those match play and replace it with like a circuit or something like that.
Right, so final question then. You're here tonight at Duffield Squash Club. We've got quite a lot of aspiring young juniors. What would be the sort of your number one tip for these juniors that come? They're going to come down tonight to watch you. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's just great to see sort of so many juniors that come down to see the PSL matches. I go on quite late and the kids here are brilliant. They stick around, they often coach me in between games. There's one young lad who always comes down and he tells me to play more drop shots, which I think is the story of my career, not just my PSL matches. So I have to keep remembering that maybe I should take advice off them, I think, rather than the other way around. But from my experiences, there's 2 things. One thing's really important to enjoy your squash, no matter what's, even if it's whatever sport it is, it's really important, I think, to enjoy your sport. But everyone says that, so I think the other thing is just to try, if you do choose something, to try to sort of make the most out of your talent and put everything you can into it. And whether that means that you're a county player or a social player or you get to the very top of the game, as long as you give it your all every time you step on court, then there's nothing that you can sort of question about that.
That's brilliant. So thank you very much, Nick, for your time, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.